Hey everybody, it's Echo here. So I just want to kickstart this video off and just say a big massive thank you to literally everyone who has subscribed and liked all my other videos that I've done. It really does mean a lot. I can't really express just enough how much. Also a big massive shout out to Tommy. If it wasn't for you saying what you said, I probably would not be doing this video right now, so you've actually given me inspiration to do this. So big massive thank you to you. So in today's video it's all going to be about what it's like to be a male Wiccan and my sort of views, possibly that we all share together as a male group of Wiccans. So you know what, let's kickstart this video. So I just want to say as well that this is my personal views and from my personal experiences. This really is not set in stone, as we all have our own views, etc. I just really like to aim this video to all those like male Wiccans out there who are just discovering themselves. So maybe just hopefully answer the questions that they may have, because I had nothing when I was starting off myself. So this pretty much would be aimed for you. So I remember when I started out on my spiritual path, I was trying to find a practice that I felt truly comfortable in, and Wicca was the only one that really resonated with me at the time. So I started doing my research with reading some books. I remember I actually paid for three books, and all of them were introductory books into the practice. I remember I got a quarter of a way through one book and I started to see a pattern going on. And this pattern was pretty much, they were saying things like, when a witch does this, she must blah 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 blah. Or when a witch gets initiated into a coven, she and her sisters must blah blah blah. So I remember I put this book down and I started to skim through the second one, and I started seeing the same thing again. And at the time I remember feeling quite disheartened about it, and so I did a search on Google and YouTube of, can men be Wiccan? Because this is the question that kept coming up in my head. It's like, I'm starting to see a pattern here. Is this really a thing for men to do? Is it frowned upon? You know, these are the questions you get going through your head. But the thing is, I got nothing when I was going on YouTube and when I was Googling it. So, and everything was just pretty vague, the stuff that I did find. But you know what, regardless of all this, I still did the practice anyway. And do you know what, I was still getting the same results as what anyone would. You know, so, but then, the annoying thing is when I start questioning it again. Being a Wiccan, we learn and dedicate our practice to the goddess and the god. We learn about the balance of light and dark, yin and yang. We also balance out masculine and feminine energies. So during the awakening process, we all discover that we are connected to the divine. Therefore, we are all connected as one. So why is it so vague about men doing the practice? So, especially when we're all connected to the same purpose, right? So, I mean, let's just take Gerald Gardner, for example. That's pretty much enough said, kind of. So, he was pretty much a man who brought up the pagan practice, at least in the New Age way. So, yes, these are all things that I started to question again. We all celebrate a lot of the goddess's life cycle, the maiden, the mother, and the crone. In this respect, it's all about appreciating the feminine. So, you know what, I respect that. But even me personally, I'm a Leo with an Aquarius moon. And do you know what, I do personally find that my feminine side comes out a bit more than my masculine side. But when I do my rituals and my spell work that I do, I try and balance these energies out. Okay, so there is a certain practice, it's called Dianic Wiccan. So it's a goddess tradition focused on female experience and empowerment. But when I started out, I wasn't really too aware of this practice at all. And around this time, I was trying to find a coven in my local area. And there was one, so I was quite happy. So little me, I did actually give them an email and I said, do you know what, I'm just starting out, I'm starting out Wiccan, I'm very, very interested in doing the practice. It'd be nice if I can have people around me who are possibly more experienced, who can kind of help me into the practice myself. And I do remember when I gave this email out, I had someone come back to me and they said, I'm really sorry, but we don't allow men into our coven. And me being me, I was obviously quite upset. I was like, okay, I'm going to email them back. I'll be quite nice about it. But okay, is there any particular reason for this? And she was quite vague actually when she got back to me, and she said, sorry, but it's just how our high priestess likes to work. So I was like, okay. So then I emailed back and said, okay, but can you at least recommend me some other covens who do allow men into their coven? And I got nothing. I mean, it wouldn't have been so bad if they got back to me on that. So that did upset me. But later on, I did learn that coven I was trying to get into was Dianic. So they wouldn't really allow me to do it, and I respect it. But back then, being a male Wiccan could feel quite lonely when you can't see any evidence in books or media of there being any men Wiccans. So it would have been nice if there had been like some like-minded people out there sharing their knowledge in books, etc. But it just never really was a thing. And YouTube back then wasn't really as big as what it was now. You do see one or two Wiccans out there who are men who express this. But this is one of the reasons why I actually built this channel up as well. It's just to help those who do question it. But anyway, for me, I'm a big, massive believer in equality and treating everyone just as equal. After all, we are all as one to the divine. So we all breathe the same air, we all go through the same mundane issues. So we should all be able to get together and help each other, not separate into different categories in life. I don't see there being much point in that. There was a lot of discrimination back in the days. So you hear about witches being burnt to the stake and all this sort of thing. And even back then, women didn't really get to have a lot of free speech or anything. But now things have changed, and yet we're still arguing about diversity, being diverse and discriminative, and that we're still arguing about it. I just don't see the point. So just move on. We're doing good. This is a good thing. How we are now, we're growing through it. But I am here to say to those who are questioning if Wicca can be males too, yeah, of course they can. After all, the goddess and the god, they do not discriminate. It's a loving practice dedicated to the earth, and we are all as one, just like I said. So, of course, it doesn't matter if you're man or woman for this. But another thing as well is that over the years, when most people hear the word witch, they instantly think of a green-faced woman full of warts and driving off on a broomstick, cackling. But the funny thing is that we do have film and entertainment to kind of thank for that. You've got shows like Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Charmed, Sabrina, Harry Potter and the Craft. All of these are really amazing films and programs and stuff, which I love myself. But unfortunately, they do dress us Wiccans up to be something that we're not. I mean, they do very, very much exaggerate it in the shows and films. But again, that is just for entertainment purposes only. So it's just something you should just take quite lightly. But I will say, actually, I love the American Horror Story. The Coven and the Apocalypse. They're really good, but I noticed in Apocalypse, when they show the warlocks are more twisted and they're pretty dark in their views. But again, it's just entertainment purposes. But don't take these films and programs to heart. at all, because it's not how we really are. So no, there is no right or wrong in being Wiccan, and everyone has their own path on it. It don't matter if you're a man, if you're a woman, if you're gay or straight, black or white, it doesn't matter. My way of doing things could be completely different to how you would do your practice. It's because we all have our own unique way and unique paths into our Wiccan practice. So we only have one rule, and that's to harm none. So I will say times have changed now since when I first started, and things are more, well, they're slowly, you can find more information online. I know it's actually on the Wikipedia, if you type in Wicca, there's more, they've updated it a bit more now, and it seems a bit more more appropriate of how they say it, and more correct into how it is now, which is something that I really love. But I would like to see this topic being more addressed into books, because I do have a lot of people asking me, can men actually be Wiccan? So this is another thing I'm addressing as well. It's like, yeah, you can, doesn't really matter. But yeah, I would like to see us more in books if possible. Actually, earlier I said to you that I paid for 3 books. I did kind of go through the first 2 books and said that they're pretty much the same, and they're pretty much saying the same things, that kind of put me off. But I did go through the 3rd book, and the 3rd book was actually my saving grace back then. I don't know if anyone is actually familiar with it or may have read it themselves. His name is Scott Cunningham, and this is another sort of book that I had. It's for, actually I've got it here. So it's a guide for the solitary practitioner. I can't get my words out. Practitioner. But yeah, no, he's really great, and how he goes through things in his book is very out there for everyone. So if you do want to read into being a Wiccan, I would really recommend this. It is quite an old book, but it still goes through the appropriate things that you need to learn. Whether it's all about the Sabbats, your altar, how to set up a circle. It's actually got a dedication ritual to the god and goddess in here, which is really great. Opening, did I say opening up circles and stuff? It covers everything. And there is actually a secondary book to this as well, which I think is called Living Wicca. I do have it, and I actually read it quite recently now. I forgot the name of it, but yes, do read it. It's great. But I would like to end this video and just say thank you for everyone who's watched this video, and for everyone who's subscribed. But do leave me a comment down below with some of your experiences, or do you know what, as a matter of fact, actually leave me a direct message on my Twitter account, which I will leave somewhere on this video. And please just don't forget to subscribe to this video if you want to see more videos like this. So yeah, blessed be everyone, and take care. Bye.